Hello and welcome to Recipes and Hospitality with Clara, a channel where we give you recipes and of course content that will help you to enhance your hospitality to the glory of God. And when we did that particular video on menus, preparing a simple menu for your household, I said that I would want to do one where we are actually doing meal prepping and we want to just show you a bit of what we do, particularly preparing breakfasts and preparing delights for your guests, and just a bit of tips on how to do that. And so join us as we do that. Of course, my children are always part of that prepping. They help me a lot so that we can do as fast as we can. And so join us and we will pray as is always our custom. Father, be with us. Grant that what we are sharing will be of real value, will be fruitful for us and for the viewers, for your glory, in Jesus' name. Amen. For my menu, this might sound familiar. If you watched that video on menus, I used my menu as an example, and today I've just picked out 4 of the cakes that I know, so that every other month I will do, of course, different kinds of cake. But I have a simple vanilla cake right there. If you look in our channel, you will see the simple vanilla lemon cake, but because I don't have lemon, I will just keep it that simple. We have the chocolate cake because I have some sour milk around. I don't want it to go to waste. I'll use it for that. I will also use an egg. I will do an eggless banana cake because I happen to also have plenty of bananas, and I will do a banana spice cake that, if you check on the video, my daughter did that banana spice cake. And then we are going to do 2 big breads. Of course, we will divide them up because remember, this is covering us for a whole month. For our breakfast, we will do scones, and of course later I hope to go to the market because today happens to be a market day, buy ndumas, cassava, sweet potato, just to finish up our breakfast. So here we began. This is what we will do with the big breads. The two, I like to mix at or whole wheat and white, so that it comes out at least mixed. I like it mixed. We will also do our scones here. I hope to do mandazi because I always like to have an extra either mandazi depending on the month. Next month I might do an extra cake in case I get the visitors who pop in, or you just need this. Some people are hungry and you need to give them something. I like to have extra. So this month we are doing mandazi, and then of course this is one of the cakes we will start with. And in this bowl, my little daughter will peel for us the bananas and mash them so that we begin with our banana cake. And so now you will see us do together the mixing, and then hopefully we will show bits and pieces of what we will do, and then show us the final product and how we actually pack it so that it goes to the freezer. Our bread is ready to go out to the sun and proof, and together with our scones right here. So we are going to take them out and go through the procedure. Please check these recipes out. They are all on the channel. Very simple, easy to do at home. Our daughter, little girl, has worked on the bananas, so we are going to continue with the eggless banana cake, and then we will pick up from there and continue working on the cakes. So we go to the next things. We are doing cake. So Adasa, what are you making?
Vanilla cake.
And girl?
Banana cake.
Yeah, she's continuing with the banana cake she was doing. Of course, we will help where we can. And then I'll work on the mandazi. By the way, this is one of the ways to engage your children. They enjoy that. From the time she was little, you would give her something small and she would work on it, including Hadassa, and so it's just a wonderful time of bonding with your children as you do this meal prep. And so now we get on to business.
Yay! Yay!
Yeah, so as we continue prepping, I'm sure some of us are wondering exactly what are we doing. Of course, maybe just 2 tips and then we explain what we are doing. These are our breakfasts for the whole month. And this is the whole month really of October. And we are hopeful that in part of November, because we began our prepping in the middle of the month, like I mentioned in one of the videos, I was feeling a bit harassed because I didn't have a predictable way of doing my breakfast. So this is one of the ways that you can prepare. And remember, you can tone down the ingredients further, like the sugar. You can make them wholemeal instead of white, or mix the way I did. Just make your breakfasts as healthy as you want them to be. Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to say, of course, is the reason we are doing this is because they are on various days that we will be eating this, but of course different kinds as much as possible. Like you saw in our menu, Monday we are having bread, Tuesday we are having a potato, a sweet potato if I'm not wrong. Wednesday we wait on the Lord and fast, and so we have our children just get creative and make something for themselves. On Thursdays we will usually have ndoma made differently each week, or cassava, and on Friday I believe it's a bread or cake, one of them, but Saturday is also either bread or cake, I just forget. And Sunday we do the various ones, whether they are the little cake, the small cakes, muffins, or drop scones, or pancake, or you know, the different ones that you can do very fast as you prepare to go to church, you know, something that you can do fast and yet interesting. Even sandwich maker cakes, all those are on the channel. So really that is what we are doing. And now I'm done with the dough for the mandazi. I'm hoping to allow it to relax for about 2 or 3 hours. Then I will fry the mandazi. We will eat some, taste, but most of it will go to the freezer. Our little girl is continuing to work on her banana cake. We will help, of course, eggless banana cake. And Hadassah has just done the vanilla cake. And so we go ahead and bake the cakes, and we will continue prepping the chocolate cake and the banana spice cake. And basically that's it for the whole month. Yeah, look at our bread, came out really nice. Yeah, so I'll just separate the pieces and place them in the container so that we can keep in the freezer. Of course, together with all the other cakes, we will do that. Yeah, so this is the result of our prepping, our breakfasts. Maybe we could come close up and just have a peep. I'm sure this will be helpful to you, or someone who would want to prep food. You see our cakes are right there. You can mark them, but I know personally I will remember, but it can be helpful to just mark. Remember, this was our plain cake and our banana spice cake. Then the breads, I did it in smaller pieces together with the scones that we did right there. This is also bread. You notice from our menu we tend to do a little more bread. This is the banana cake, the eggless banana cake, and in there also we have chocolate cake. I put them together because usually you can tell the difference, and I can pick any for any of the weeks. And then the mandazi we did, I put them in smaller containers because really they are for guests. So for beefing up a breakfast, maybe you're more, I can add this. And then as I did chapels for supper, I also did a little more because these days I don't prep a lot of chapatis now that my freezer is kind of small, so I try to reduce that. And finally I bought these sweet potatoes, and in there ndumas or arrowroots that I hope to boil and keep also in the freezer so that they can be part of our menu. I was also able to get the grains or dry cereals right there. Of course, when we boil and we have cooked them, I'll tell you what kinds they are, and they will also go into the freezer. And of course, this will take us through the next 4 or so months. That's a term before we replenish. And I'm really thankful for a benefit that we have here in the village. You notice I don't have green maize. Is because in the last harvest we harvested green maize, and I was able to put a lot of it in the freezer, and so I didn't need to buy green maize. I think the one that is in the freezer will take us for about 2 months, and I'm sure by then our next harvest of maize will be ready. And so I'm going to take my breakfast dishes into the freezer, and then we will continue prepping tomorrow, because these ones I need to soak them overnight. One of the tips I know about grains is they come out better, produce the protein better when you soak them before you cook. So we are going to soak them tonight and prepare them tomorrow. After 4 months or termly, I try to clean out my freezer, because usually by then the supply has gone low and it's easier to clean it. And of course, you just want your freezer clean, because a lot of times during the term or the 4 months, food can pour in, you know, and all that can happen and it gets dirty, so you want it clean. You also want to know what is left and needs to be cooked before you arrange the new supply of food. And of course, when you arrange it, you will put the one you removed, the older supply, on top so that you can start cooking that one before you go to the new one. And also, after you've cleaned, you can also arrange the food the way you want it arranged. And so now I'll go ahead and clean it for about 30 minutes or so. And now I'll be ready to put in my new supply of food. Wow, it is clean now. I can't wait to arrange in the food for a new season, to the glory of God. Now, these are some of the grains I soaked overnight. There's ndengu right there. This is the one we call special ndengu. Ndengu is green grams. That's the lentils or kamande, and these are the beans. Let me say something about beans. Many people will have gas with beans, and I really like wairimu, the small red ones, but usually people will complain of gas. And one of the ways of dealing with gas, really I learned this from an older woman, is to soak your beans overnight and then pour out the water. Once you've poured out the water, rinse the beans again and then take them to boil. When you're boiling, drop in a carrot or two, and once they have boiled and are ready, get rid of the carrots, and that will help in reducing the gas significantly. I like to do this as much as my family will not struggle with gas, because I know you may receive a guest on the day you're doing beans and they have issues with gas. So you just want to go through this procedure so that you can take care of your guests as well, just in case you don't have issues with gas. But that will help quite significantly in reducing the amount of gas. I took this video just for fun. We live in the countryside, and so we have access to a lot of firewood, and so we will boil our grains or cereals on the day we do that on a pressure cooker, but also on firewood. I'm thankful that, as we always pray for creativity, God gave my husband creativity to set up these 3 cooking places. And so we are going to cook these beans very fast, and I'm looking forward to this. And of course, food cooked on the fire will usually taste very nice, has that kind of unique taste, and I can't wait really for us to finish in a super short time. A pressure cooker is a valuable item, and so I'm boiling one of the grains in the pressure cooker. Really, once you've soaked the grains can actually cook for half the time. So really, it's an item you want to consider, but of course, be very careful in using it because it can be dangerous if it's not used in the right way. But it's an item you want to consider using in the house because it will be very helpful as you boil your grains and other things that might need boiling now that it takes a shorter time. So here are the grains we prepped. That's kamande or lentils. That's the ndengu or green grams. We have what we call special ndengu or ndengu western, really a kind of green gram. We have the beans right there. Then we have the dried peas that we will use for our stews and mokimo. Mokimo is a kind of food that we make with mash, with potato, Irish potato, and that's it. So we thank God for that provision. We have about 4 months supply of food. Hopefully it will help us in our planning of other activities now that some of the main foods have been sorted. Actually, if I had a bigger freezer, I would do a lot more, probably prep on meats. We love goats and sheep around here. We will probably get a whole sheep and put it right there so that we can be able to take care of the meats. But our freezer is a bit small, and so this is what we can manage. So you see, you can do so much more in terms of food prepping. And so thank you for joining me. As we finish, I'll just show you the arrangement of how I arrange my things in the freezer. Maybe it will be helpful to someone. Yeah, this freezer is actually not the biggest, but it has served us well. So you can see it's basically full, but after a week or two, it will loosen up when we eat a few of these things, and so we can manage to keep in other things. But for now, we just have it as it is. What I will usually do is I will not mark my things usually because I know where I keep certain things. I know in that corner, for instance, I have green maize just under the beans and beans on top, and then I will have the black beans under because we don't eat them a lot. People don't like them a lot, but under here we have black beans, and on top we have the dried peas, and then here is the assortment of ndengu, special ndengu, lentils, and another one I'm forgetting because those are the ones I interchange week after week. We will eat ndengu this week, next week lentils, the other week kunde. It's the kunde. Yeah, and then on this part, majorly we have the breads, the cakes. Mandazis couldn't fit, so I had to fix them somewhere here. Chapo is right here, chapati, and then the other breakfasts, the nduma and sweet potatoes right there. And of course this season our tomatoes have been quite cheap in the market, getting to as low as 20 shillings a kilo, so that's when I buy a lot and also keep. So that has also taken up a lot of my space. And some green maize down there, not the ones for githeri, but the ones you can eat. I boiled and ate. They call them mitungo. You eat them with a cob. And of course here now I put an assortment of things. I use these prestige containers because they are very helpful. An assortment of things, usually meats, milk, cream, anything. Some leftover icing, fondant icing. Where is that? Right there. So anything, an assortment of things that even I have omena right there. I will make it one of these days for the channel. Yeah, so when it loosens up after a week or two, then we can afford to put in other things. But you can be sure now for a whole month I'm sorted with breakfasts, with part of supper, and also for a term I am sorted with cereals and grains. So that's how I work with my freezer, and I hope it will be helpful for you as well as you plan to do the same. So thank you for joining me. Like, share, subscribe. If you found this video helpful, share with a friend, share in the comments something that would be helpful for me. And until our next video, it is bye from us.